Hi, everybody. It's Ia Patsy, and I am here to do the August Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine Reunion Oracle reading for the sign of Gemini. And I'm doing it live just because it's easier to upload, apparently. And I'm just going to be waiting a few minutes because, as usual, I didn't announce anything. I thought I had at least given it a half an hour, but apparently I did something wrong. So, see if I have to say something. All right. I thought I had did all of this already. So, Gemini, August 18, general, beginning, DMDF, United Oracle. Yes, of course. I'll be doing Libras this month. Right now, I'm doing Geminis. I'm going to get to everybody. I'm doing them one day at a time so far, but it's early, so we might luck up depending on how this goes. Thank you, Chic. Hello. Of course, I'll be doing them. All righty. So feel free to hang out. Maybe some of these messages are for you, but I will. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. So please make sure you like. So we're going to be getting cards from this deck that I recently acquired, and it's called the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine Reunited deck. And this is by Christabel Jessica. And thank you very much. And it's broken down. It's 44 oracle cards. They're broken down into 4 categories. First, the male, and then please like when you enter the room so that we can notify more people. See, you notified. You said like, and 2 more people showed up. Excellent. Thank you. 3. Thank you very much. So, going to try to get cards from each of these energies: male, female, shadow, and light. Okay, and this is going to be referring to what you're dealing with, what's your challenges, what are your lessons, things that are going on between you all for the time. That was half the deck. Now this is a little slow to. Interesting. All right, these 2 keep wanting to show themselves, so we'll use that. See how this goes. Follow spirit. All right. So for the male energies, we have 2 oracle cards. So let's see what happens with the females, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. If any of you are interested in a private reading, I do personalized readings, and you can send an email to pbtarot7@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you and let you know. And take payments through PayPal. Okay. All right. So let's see what happens if I cut the cards. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so get the other two energies. This one is shadow. And ancestors, you want to give me shadow? Okay. Do the same thing again. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And light. Okay. All right, I think I see what's going on here. Carolyn, hi. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so Carolyn is saying that she loves the deck and that she enjoyed the reading for Virgo yesterday and that she enjoyed me telling a little of my life story a little bit. Um, and she's sending love and light. Thank you. And of course, sending love and light to you too. I appreciate that. Yeah, yesterday was a good day. Emotional, but very blessed. Um, had a homegoing service for my pastor, or the pastor of the church that I have belonged to, have my membership at for many years. And I was speaking about, that and his relationship and his family. And the funeral was yesterday, and it was well attended, very well attended. And it was just a celebration of a life of a man who lived um, a Christian, his Christian ideals. He followed the doctrine of his church and had a successful life with challenges that he was able to overcome or at least handle because he had support. And as I was reading the obituary yesterday, it was very interesting that reading his history of his life and who he was, sometimes even if you don't believe in a twin flame, you are a twin flame. And I'm, I'm being led to make a video about that. No disrespect intended, but I just want us to be able to see that this is not about religion. This is about a mindset. This is about understanding what a commitment is. Okay? Commitment to your God, to your divine, to your soul family, to your principles, and to your twin. And that, better or worse, doesn't always come with cheating. Sometimes cheating would be an easier situation to contend with. But this, the challenge that he had, and that his wife had, I think, is a good example of the lessons that we all stand to learn from this twin flame journey. And of course, they would not agree with any of this tarot card reading business and all of that. But it doesn't mean that we can't get a lesson. Doesn't mean that it's not relevant. Okay. And that there is no lesson. Oh. Yes. Ashe. Very good. All right, then. We'll see how we get there. But I think we're going to have a good time getting there. I'm thinking I like these cards too, Carolyn. All right. So for the male energies, let's start off there. We got two for you all. Male energy, the energy that's concerning our males. First one is Yeshiva, Yeshua, that's Jesus, God of unity. So there's a concern about this relationship on the side of the male, the masculine energy. Now, you could be a female that's exhibiting masculine traits at this time, or you could just be a man, okay? You could be in a straight relationship, or you could be heterosexual relationship. Just depends on how you're feeling at the time, how emotional you are at the time. So this is the male energy, the masculine energy, God of unity, Jesus, Yeshua. So this is about asking questions and being a leader, trying to unify situation, asking questions, finding answers, being in touch with divine, leaning on your belief system to help you deal with the other energy that you're working with, obstruction, Ganesh, God of obstruction. So, Ganesha, God of obstruction. And what has he got? He's got tattoos on his chest there. Ooh. Magnifying glass, yes, whatever. Okay. Might be nice if I cleaned the magnifying glass. Oh, that looks like, okay. So that elephant symbol that symbolizes Ganesh, that's what he has on his chest. Obstruction. And there's a little rodent over there. Could be a rat, could be a chipmunk. So obstruction. So 5 is changes, 5 is creativity, 5 is Oshun. He has his yellow on, so this is related to that, related to love. Oshun is love. 5 is changes, creativity, obstruction. So perhaps there's some gossiping going on. Someone is trying to interfere in your relationship. Someone is doing work behind the scenes to interfere with this union. Could be another guy, could be another man, or it could be you, masculine energy. It could be you who is doing things that are not on the up and up, and and whatever it is that you might be doing is causing some type of blockage to this union. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And if you join, please give us a thumbs up because that'll notify more people that I am live doing this reading for Gemini. For the female energy in this situation, we have Persephone. Persephone is number 9. So 9 is the ancestors. 9 is death in the Yoruba pantheon. 9 is changes, transformations, beginnings, endings, cycles of life. Persephone is the daughter of Demeter, I believe it is, and Zeus. And she ended up going to Hades, and she was kidnapped by Hades, yes. And have a good day, baby. Um, and her mother searched the entire planet looking for her and finally found that she was in Hades, that she was with Hades, and was able to make an arrangement that Persephone would come and be with her mother for 6 months out the year and stay with Hades for 6 months out the year because she had eaten 6 pomegranate seeds while she was with Hades. And once you consume something, you can't leave. So they came to that type of conclusion. So, goddess of endurance. So, this is something that is repetitive. This is something that is circular. This is something that constantly is going on. Okay. So, someone who is constantly showing her sweetness, showing her passion, trying to be strong, doing a lot of introspection, listening to her spirit guides, letting herself reflect while dealing with the obstruction that is coming with the masculine energy. And the masculine energy believes that what he is doing is not obstruction, it's working towards unifying the couple. And so she understands that that's what his intentions are, and that's why she's enduring. Let's take a look at Ganesh and see what he's talking about. What's his problem? Ganesh is the number 5. So that's again creativity and changes. Ganesha speaks. I am known as a remover of obstacles, but what is not always understood about me is the way that I do this. By putting an obstacle across your path, this may seem counterproductive for me to place what feels like a barrier in your way, but this helps you dig up the original obstacle, the wound. My mouse familiar, yeah, that little thing, it was a mouse, okay, is symbolic of this. Reaching into the well hidden areas of your soul and energy that cannot be reached easily. This is why Earth is called a mirror. And you have, the feminine has a mirror to reflect your core's hurts through energies that stimulate the buried pain or belief. This is the message I would like to bring to you today to help you see that the situations that you encounter are often a way of triggering a core wound that has been with you for a very long time that urgently needs to be addressed. It needs to be removed so you can flourish and thrive. This is the true purpose of what is known in your language and time as the law of attraction. The true purpose of this governing law of the universe is not to acquire mansions, cars, material objects, which can be a lovely bonus, but the true purpose is to be the guiding force behind your path of evolution, growth, and learning. Okay. So the law of attraction is not about getting material goods. It's about attracting you to the processes and the situations that will bring about your evolution, your growth, and your learning. Our evolution, growth, and learning. So these obstructions that are being put in your place are part of the lesson. Okay. So when you have someone that you know loves you, but it seems that they're doing things and putting more and more barriers into the relationship, they think that they are working towards unity, unifying the relationship. Like, in other words, they're working, whatever they're doing that is taking them away from you or is throwing more shit in the game, as they say. That you thought that this, you had a understanding, or you thought that you had an understanding that this is where you were and this is what you were building towards, and that you have been waiting all this time for this the obstruction that you knew about to be over. And instead it seems like he's going out and getting more stuff for you all to have to overcome and compromise with, and you are hmm, enduring. But let's see about that. Number 9, enduring. Persephone. Persephone speaks. I'm here to speak to you about a particular powerful fragment of feminine energy related to creation. This is an energy signature that many women are being called to bring to the forefront in this era of great change. I know firsthand about this energy, and I hope that I can be a resource of strength for you as you work on developing this quality within you. A woman's threshold for endurance is extremely high and has been since the dawn of time. A woman has the capacity to take what is presented to her and work her magic, to turn it into an object of magnificent beauty. A supreme example of this is childbirth. See here how a woman's endurance is extreme. I would like to refer you to Persephone, to my story. This is Persephone speaking. I turned the circumstances given to me into such a victory that I'm still looked upon as a figure of adaptability today. I was kidnapped and taken to the underworld, and like an alchemist, I turned that into an opportunity to claim the title of the queen of the underworld. Through this, I was able to return to Earth, my true home, for 6 months a year. I ask you to look at the situations that you're currently in and see how you can use your endurance to climb your way to a title of victory, just as I did. So, endurance, but I also heard about compromise there, taking responsibility for the actions that you have done. Because if she hadn't eaten those 6 pomegranate seeds, she wouldn't have been in that situation to begin with, right? So taking responsibility for her part in it and trying to see how she can work these new blockages into something beneficial, some way that she can adjust her thinking and the way she operates. Because again, we know the only thing that you can change is yourself, right? But there's manifestation through visualization. So if you see a situation coming towards you where you're being put through changes and additional blockages by your well meaning masculine who talks unity and talks love, but brings baggage, brings blockages, brings obstructions. So you are being told that you have the capacity to turn this lemon into lemonade, to turn this. There's one more thing you have to handle, but you're willing to endure that for the sake of the union because you're generating this God of unity also. That's what spirits told me. You are generating this God of unity also. You want this relationship to work, and you are willing to endure these obstructions. So that's what you're going to be dealing with, obstructions and testing your endurance, which I don't even think is a test. It's just you exhibiting your endurance for the sake of the unification of this relationship. That doesn't mean that this is going to stop more obstructions from coming, but it's saying that you are in it for the long haul, for better, for worse. Whatever he brings to you, you are going to work it. And you're going to be relying on your intuition and the messages that you get from your ancestors, from your soul team, your whoever, whatever energies you embrace and have been embracing on this journey. You're going to be doing your work, self-reflection, remaining sweet and sensual because you're trying to make sure that you all have a strong foundation. The shadow, okay, all right. The shadow energy that is overshadowing this entire system is number one, codependency. And remember, Jesus, Yeshua, is the number one too. So, is your definition of unity codependency? And perhaps this is what the obstruction is about, teaching lessons about taking care of yourself, taking care of yourself, making compromise, following your intuition, remaining comfortable and in love. Hmm. These codependent people don't look too upset. They look like codependency is a good thing. And I guess in some cases it is. Codependency is a relationship, is a marriage, right? Because you depend on one another. You're putting your faith and your trust in the other person. They're going to do things that have your best interests at heart, and you're going to do those things also, for better, for worse, right? Codependency is a dysfunctional dynamic between two people that involves excessive emotional, physical, or psychological reliance. It is a byproduct of scarcity consciousness and lack mentality and is linked to a need to survive. It's a part of being human and not to be judged, but to be acknowledged. Once we see patterns and behaviors within us and understand why they exist and purpose our subconscious and what purpose our subconsciouses assigned these behaviors and patterns for our survival, we can begin to deprogram them and reprogram them with a higher frequency belief system. Codependency is not bad or wrong and is not something to feel shame about. Have you ever stayed in a relationship that you knew was no longer feeding your soul because of external factors, not knowing if you have the strength to start again, not knowing if you will have the ability to sustain your material needs if you leave, not wanting to be alone. The reason we bring codependent tendencies into our awareness is so that we can become conscious of them and bring about change in our interactions and relationships with others so we can experience a higher love. Being in codependent relationships can inhibit opportunities for more soulful forms of love. This isn't to say that love cannot be shared in a relationship in a survival based zone, because it can. But we are now heading in a direction that allows for more freedom and depth. So now that we are on, those of you who are on this journey who are in union with your twin flame, and those of you who are in communication may not be at this point yet, but once you're living together, whether you're married or you're in a committed relationship with your twin and you're both working on this relationship, you have to understand where codependency may lean a little on the negative rather than the positive. Now, if these obstructions are continuously being presented in the relationship, and if you all both work on endurance together, right? Working together to endure these obstructions that you both may be creating, and understanding that they're fear-based obstructions, that the reason that these obstructions are coming is because of the fear-based poverty mentality. Again, male energy may see his or her ability to provide as very, very, very important to his ability to project his love. His love, he interprets his love as what he can provide. Okay? So if the obstruction is work or finding ways to make money, investing in things, well, I'm so happy that you felt better, Katrilla. Very good. Thank you. Um, yeah. If you are putting obstacles or blockages, doing things that you're purposely that have been communicated to you perhaps already by your partner that they're not comfortable with, and you continue to go on with this type of behavior, with this obstructionist behavior. But female energy is being told that these are tests, these are ways of learning how to use her magic and to follow her intuition in order to change this behavior. So, sounds like the divine is trying to push the feminine to tap into their gifts and to use her tools to clear the obstruction. Hmm. And the thing that is going to solve this for the two of you. Hmm. Wow. Number 11, communion. Number 11, communion. So we got unity and communion. So communion, communication, coming to agreements and understandings, empathy, mm, relying on your spirituality, your divinity, being in communication with your spirit guides, with your creator, your divine power, your soul team, being in communion with one another and with the divine. And bring it all together. Number 11, communion. The sweet bliss of union. I'm sure this will be the most sought after card within this deck. We all desire the beauty of merging with one another. Communion is so desirable because it is a mini version of the experience of oneness, an outlet for giving and receiving love. There can be a feeling of shame surrounding the desire for love. In a community where we often hear people spouting, love yourself first, and codependence, okay, we can sometimes judge ourselves for wanting union with a beloved. It is okay to desire support. It is okay to desire love. It is okay to desire passion. From a human level, we are biologically driven to belong to a community. From the standpoint of biology, we are naturally drawn to desire a mate for survival and even to procreate to continue the survival of mankind. Why else would so many women be willing to go through childbirth otherwise? And from a spiritual perspective, we are love. We are made up of love, and it's only natural to desire an outlet to give and receive this love on a profound level. Spiritually speaking, we are one part of a separated polarity. Feminine and masculine coming together to merge back into wholeness from a state of separation. So the next time you feel guilt surrounding the desire for love, remember that it's part of being a human being and a spiritual being. So both your human side and your spiritual side desire communion. Communion being coming together. Okay, so perhaps what they're saying the lesson is more time together, more intimacy, the power of the feminine to heal through her sensuality and through her sexuality. To get this guy to stop with the obstruction. So, tapping into your gifts, tapping into all that you have to work with, your intellect, the tools that you've learned, the tools that you've been using, the lessons that you've been learning, the tools that you've been given, the gifts that you have to let create an atmosphere that this one feels that he can stop throwing up these obstructions and stop giving you these lessons. Show him that you're good. You don't need any more lessons from him. You need him to work with you, to commune, to stop putting obstacles to your unity together. So maybe that's what it is. He's been putting obstacles to your communion, to your unity. So he's been starving you sexually, holding back sexually from you, creating that type of obstruction, and you have been enduring this. So we are in a situation where the male is holding out on his expression of he's using work and obligations and all other kind of things to obstruct and keep him from being in communion with the divine feminine, because he's afraid of creating a codependent situation. So perhaps he has been involved in that before. He could be trying to avoid marriage, or he could be trying to avoid union altogether. Why? Because he has trust issues. He has trust issues, and he listens to some low vibrational people around him. He actually is comfortable with the low vibration people. And Persephone could only take them but so much, right? 6 months in hell, 6 months on earth. So she doesn't. She okay. She can put up with this, but only but so long. She needs to be away from that because it's draining on her energy. And communion, being together, will draw, will make him feel more comfortable with the relationship and less comfortable with his little rat squad putting things in his ear or enticing him through materialistic opportunities, making him think that he's working towards his future, when actually they know, these low energy people, that what they are doing is putting a strain on the feminine energy. So you got some people working against you over here on your partner's side that he is entertaining. And the codependence may be him on them. I'm going to do everything live this month. That is the hi Ann, hi. I just saw that. Yeah, I'm planning on doing everything live this month, but I can't tell you when I'm going to do everything. Is as I'm being led. I already did the second part of Pisces, which I uploaded. No, second part of Virgo, I uploaded to Vimeo, so that's all taken care of. Now I'm doing this reading, and if I can get through it and get everything uploaded, maybe I'll have a lot of energy because it's only 1 o'clock and I'm already doing this. So thank you very much, but I will be doing it. And when I do it, I will do it live. And I don't know when. If you'd like notifications, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. And if you hit the thumbs up and notifications, you'll know whenever I, start doing a live reading. But I don't have that many left to do, so Libra should be coming pretty soon. And I guess since 2 people have asked for it, I'll do Libra next. But I'm not saying that it's going to be today. It may or it may not. Anyway, back to where I was. This codependency that is your challenge for this time period can just as easily not only be fear of commitment, but also your divine, hey Mel, you're welcome. Um, your divine masculine's inability to detach himself from these rats, from these people. that he's very aware, have no real interest in him, but only for what he can provide them, which may be stability and determination. Okay? They know who he is and they don't want to lose him, and they're afraid that if he comes towards his feminine, if he continues on this spiritual path, that they're going to lose their connection with him. And they need that because if it's a codependent relationship, both parties depend on each other. So the rats depend on him for something, and he depends on them for information, for affirmation, and to keep him from being real, to keep him from going forward. It will be a tower moment. It may be. Depends on how much. And see everything all right. Sound like a tower moment. It's all right. Because the feminine has endurance. She knows how to handle this. She knows how to negotiate this so that she can get what she wants. Even if she has to spend some time on the dark side, she'll be able to handle it. And while she is handling the dark side, she may have to engage with these people, right? Communion coming together. She may have to engage with these people for the sake of the relationship because he is so codependent. And it will be victorious at the end because it's communion number 11. This is the ultimate card in the deck. In this particular deck, it's the ultimate card. So this will be a good strategy if she can endure long enough to let him have faith in this union. Okay, these other bad street boys, his crew here will see that union because it's going to be obvious to everybody around. And if your if your masculine energy really needs to feel this type of energy around him, I think that you're going to be able to replace it with communion, but it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of endurance to do that. But you're able to do it. You're able to do it. You have the tools that you need. You have the tools that you need. But he's been doing this type of self-protective, he thinks, behavior for a long time, and he's had this Greek chorus around him a long time. Those people who will suck him dry. Mm. Oh my God, I heard they smell blood. Okay, so card that came up here from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed, the Arrow Master. So, Arrow Master is a number 10, and 10 reduces to 1. So, this is about the individual, you, whether you be male or female. This is talking about having an aim, meeting the mark, hitting the mark, and detachment. So, feminine's aim is to get rid of these rats, right? That's her intentions. And to create detachment. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius because we have a bow and arrow. This is about listening to your intuition. See the little fairy down there looking like Tinkerbell, having hope. Wow, that really, it does look like Tinkerbell. Having hope, your intentions, but detaching yourself from the situation. But I think this is a detachment that you will do strategically over time. You have to be clever about this because the male energy is very comfortable with this obstruction. It serves him well, and he's so well served that he's not even aware of it. But he is attached to it. It's something that he's been used to. And so, just like we have lessons that we have to learn, he has lessons that he has to learn, and he has to be willing to detach from this. But I believe that he is willing to learn these lessons because, again, this is his energy that came up. He does want to be together. Maybe what he wants is for you, he wants to bring you, he wants to unify you with his crew. He wants you to become part of the crew. He wants you to feel comfortable with it. Okay, he wants you to be part of this. Maybe he doesn't know how to ask you because maybe you have mentioned your displeasure with these folks before. So maybe he has friends that you don't like, but you're willing to put up with them for the sake of working on this relationship, at least for now. Your final goal is detachment. But because this is a 10 and everybody is 10 to 1, so this is him looking out for himself, you looking out for your interests. He wants you to be part of this, even though he knows that that you're not comfortable with these people. And you may, because you're very, loyal, and you want to endure, and you want to see this relationship through, or you've been waiting such a long time and this is your new relationship starting to, evolve. So this is now what you have to put up with, these people that you already don't care for. You don't trust these people, and you shouldn't because they're rats. But he feels comfortable with them right now. So I think what it's saying to the feminine is to not take this personal. Know that you have an intention, and the only, what they say, keep your enemies close. The only way to control this, like Persephone had to be in hell, right? The only way to control this is to be in there with them so that you know what's going on. And so that you can feel some sort of control. It'll end up in you spending more time with your masculine also. 3 more cards came. The Fire Prince, number 40. So this is about, again, a fire sign that you could be dealing with in this. Gemini. This is a 4, so 4 is your foundation. This talks about optimism and aggression. So you're trying to be optimistic about the situation. You both are. But I think you're encountering some aggression. Could be on the part of the rats. Aggression, obstruction. So maybe they're coming with mischief and lies. They're putting some fire. They're trying to put some fire in this. They're trying to burn this relationship down, which is what the feminine has been fearing. And the masculine is being optimistic about these people. Mm. The prison waif, self sabotage, poverty consciousness. Again, 31-4. This is the energy that the divine masculine is coming from, a poverty mindset. And that's why these people or this behavior, this obstructionist behavior, is a comfortable place for him to be. Perhaps these people represent some type of wealth. Catilla Mel is saying hi to you. um, and thank you guys. If you joined the room, please give me a thumbs up. That'll let more people join the room so we can get these messages out. Yeah, so maybe these people, maybe these friends that you don't like, have some type of material abundance that, or maybe they have opportunities, jobs, things that your divine masculine thinks that he needs in order to establish himself financially for the good of this unity, because he feels that he needs to come with his own, stability, that he can not rely on you, because he doesn't want to be codependent on you, because perhaps he was codependent in his other relationships, but he hasn't he hasn't understood that this poverty minded behavior is also holding him back from being in union, because it's not so much these people, is what they represent for him in his life. And if he thinks that this is the way to fast money, mm, fast money, and you see this coming, but he's blocking you from being able to tell him what your intuition is telling you. And you're afraid that he will become aggressive if you try to. Mm, he may see it as you trying to stand in the way of his dreams, because he's so optimistic about this opportunity, this business. This is somebody. This is somebody's story. Okay, so you may have a situation where there's a masculine who is going into some type of a business investment or something with some characters that the divine feminine is not too crazy about, and you feel that this investment, that these people already know that this is a bust, but it's like they're pulling a scam on him and he's going for it, but you feel that you can't say much about it. You feel like Can't say much about it. So you feel like you're stuck, prison waif. You feel it whatever. If you make the wrong moves, you'll sabotage this relationship. The other card that jumped out, there you go. Number 18, Gaia's Garden. 1 and 8 is 9, so this is directly from your ancestors. Fruition, abundance, reaping what you sow. Number 18. Well, let's see. Maybe they're right. Maybe there will be abundance. Maybe the investment isn't as scary as you thought it was. We'll see in a second. Number 18. In Gaia's garden, you have everything you need to make your dreams come true. There's no shortage of anything, and you're constantly reminded of the law of supply. Constantly being reminded of the law of supply. Gaia is the infinite spirit manifest in all tangible things. Material, tangible, right? She represents the abundance of nature. When she comes to you as your ally, she invites you to partake of all the blessings of life. There will always be enough for everyone. Success comes to you from the fruits of your intentions, and all is well with the world as a result. This is also a sign to remind you to give thanks and maintain an attitude of humility and gratitude as your greatest good now manifests for you. Gaia's gifts are sweeter than when you share them with others. When Gaia appears as a challenge in her garden, she gently points out that you've forgotten to give back to the world. Or perhaps you've become lazy, expecting fruit to fall from the tree while you rest below its leaves. Gardens require tending, water, and food for the soil. Everything you have within you is needed in this world. So don't underestimate the power of what you have to offer. Timely effort is called for when Gaia challenges you to help in her garden. So ask not what you will get, but what you can give. You'll be pleasantly surprised by this change of perception. Be careful not to procrastinate too much, or the window of your current opportunity may close. Yet, even if you do miss this one, as long as you're willing to help in the garden, you'll most certainly see another. Okay, so if this is about an investment, maybe it's saying that feminine should throw in with the rats and you're masculine. If you can afford to lose money or put something in, maybe that'll be showing him that you have faith in him. I don't know. But definitely if it doesn't turn out right, don't do the I told you so's. Could also be saying, okay, this is what they want to do. You're divine. Do some prayers, do some offerings, do your work on your side. You might not ever get recognition for it from the rats, but you're masculine. You don't have to keep it a secret from him. You could tell him, okay, that's what you want to do. That's what you're doing. Well, I'm going to pray for you and I'm going to pray that everything goes well. So you're not going to be an obstructionist by sending out negative karma or negative energy because we know feminine that we're very strong, we're very powerful, we can manifest things, we can make magic happen without even intending it to. So we have to be mindful of our thoughts. So be supportive, if not by investing your own dollars invest the time that you have in praying about this, tuning into your intuition. Ask your ancestors what it would say, what's going to keep this thing, from falling apart, or what's going to help it to be fruitful, so that you can reap the benefits, so that your twin can reap the benefits, and then maybe if he gets enough money in his pocket, he can stop acting like he's scared and that he's afraid of being poor. As long as this is not something that is illegal or going to end up with somebody in jail. But for those of you who are living on that side, still prayer, offerings, using your intuition, keeping your distance. You don't have to be in everything. You're doing your work from a place of safety for yourself. Being optimistic. Visualizing the fruits of your labor positively coming forth, so that you can get into communion with your masculine, so that he can stop with the obstruction. Maybe he needs this. Maybe he needs this little bit, this little, whatever this is, he needs this in order to feel comfortable, to be able to work on his other issues. This is some childhood issue that he needs to work out, but the way to work it out is to not, poverty is not going to prove anything to him. He's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. That's what the problem is. But he needs to be able to feel like that's not a risk. So you have to try to do whatever you need to do to make him comfortable in the stability that you all have already achieved, and faith that in your coming together, there will be no poverty. He needs reassurance. He needs reassurance. He needs your support. He needs you not to be talking against what he's trying to do. Can't say nothing good, don't say nothing. But if you got to say something, pray about it. Ask your ancestors and his ancestral guides to intervene and protect him. To help him heal this poverty mindset that he has. Ask them to establish divine order in this situation to keep him safe from any harm, from any aggression. Because this, to me, honestly, Fire Prince, the Arrow Master, and the Prison Waif, mm-mm. I'm getting the feeling that this venture that these people are trying to involve themselves in, along with your divine masculine, is not on the up and up. This is maybe some shady stuff. I don't know. That might resonate with some of you all. I can't see the chat anymore. They closed the chat. Oh, there we go. I think I tainted the Gemini reading. Somehow I always got a message that I need to hear from you, and this even isn't here. Yeah, you wanted this reading. You were supposed to hear it. That's why you're here. Your intuition drew you to it at the time that I decided to come down. See, all things work together. All right, Fire Prince lets you know that he represents the invisible forces behind all manner of manifestation and brings you the gift of optimism. You'll be rightly inspired to move forward and take confident and assertive action to reach your goal. Envisioning the path of the highest good with optimistic outlook, the Fire Prince also brings you the gift of a miracle. Things come together as if by magic to create the reality you seek. You have every reason to be hopeful. Move forward knowing that you have everything you need and more. Just remember to share the enthusiasm. Believe in others and be optimistic for you too. And your fortune will multiply. And as I'm reading this, Spirit said this is not only for the feminine to be doing praying and supplications and offerings and ancestors and all of that on behalf of her masculine. This is not that anymore. He is very responsible for what goes on. If he wants unity and he knows that she has not been comfortable with this situation, and if prayer and asking his ancestors and tapping into his intuition, that's what he needs to employ so that he can stop feeling so poverty conscious, so he can stop feeling that he needs to self sabotage. Okay. He needs to understand that he needs to set his intentions so that he can hit his mark and that he is as capable as she of manifesting the thing that's going to keep this relationship together. This is not her cradling him. This is about him understanding what this is, why this is in him, and taking the steps that he needs to rid himself of these rats and this obstructive, poverty stricken mentality. This Persephone is there for half the time, but the other half the time she's not here. So you, Ganesha, need to understand that you have to take some responsibility. If unity is what you want, then tap into the divine for yourself, just like she does. On your behalf, you tap in for your behalf and on her behalf. She's not leading you, she's walking with you. You're not leading her, you're walking with her. You're learning these lessons together. And this is not about her always having to be the spiritual guide or the spiritual leader or the spiritual guru for you. No, you're guru for yourself. You're quite capable of it. Number one card in this deck for the male energy, Jesus. You can pray, you can lead, you can teach these rats about what this is that you are experiencing. They don't have to believe you. They're not going to believe you, but it doesn't matter. Not everybody believed Jesus. Look what they did to him. You better than Jesus? You can't stand up to some questions. You can if you can't defend your position, then you have no position. This is not about just her compromising and her enduring. This is about you not being an obstructionist. Yes, these obstructions are teaching her lessons. Yes, it's teaching her to be strong, and it's also teaching her to not allow codependency to set in and teaching you the difference between codependence and communion for both of you. But you are more than capable of handling your own lessons yourself. And I think that's what the message is. You can avoid jail. You can avoid the violence. You could avoid having to be detached if you start to understand and listen to, instead of listening to the rats, listen to your intuition. learning to understand the difference between the negative messages that we send ourselves and using your intuition to help you manifest what it is that you desire, that you can get, that you will get, that's there for you. But you have to go about it in the right way. And maybe you're going to have to protect yourself from these people who you think are your friends. You're being given the gift of how to fix this so you don't lose your shirt, that you do get the abundance that you want, that you can learn to relax, and that you're not going to be living on the Bowery or being in poverty. And the only way to get you to feel that is to give you some abundance so you can breathe and relax. It's not up to the feminine to do all the pleading your case and taking care of the spiritual side of this. You just can't be running out here like the gangster and thinking that, she's back home praying for you like your mom and your aunties. No, you got to pray for yourself. You have to cover yourself. Because this is a relationship, again, not between the feminine and God. Not, like she's not the conduit between you and God. You're your own conduit. You're your own representative. And you have just as much power as does, and just as much ability to create this positive manifestation. If you didn't, you wouldn't be in this relationship with her. So step up to the plate. Stop doing behaviors that are going to just create something happens, God forbid, God forbid, God forbid, and you end up hurt or in jail. There's another obstruction that you're going to expect her to endure. Hasn't she endured enough? I'm just saying, just think about it, just in fairness. And are these people really worth putting her through this? Does she deserve that? Not if you say you want unity. Now, what it is that you want her to blend in with your gang. Maybe you need to talk to them about what they do that makes her uncomfortable and ask them to knock it off. Instead of wanting her to change who she is, maybe they need to bring themselves up to her level instead of her lowering herself to them. I'm just saying. That was for somebody. Maybe you have some low energy friends, some low vibrational friends, and the thing that you could do is to help them bring themselves up some levels. Okay? Yes, maybe you could be teaching them about this journey instead of trying to teach her to dwell in the darkness. Mm. But at the end of the day, you're going to figure it out. You're going to come together. You're going to find some equality, some communion, some communication. You're going to be able to spend intimate time together and strengthen your bond and your unity so that you all can work this out. The only way you're going to work it out is communication and communion. So make it your business, both of you, to find a way to make it happen so that the both of you can figure out a plan so that she can be clear about what it is that you are going for, what it is that you're trying to invest in, whether or not she's interested in taking that investment with you. And understanding that if she doesn't, it does not mean that she doesn't have faith in you. It just means that she does not having faith in your squad. But that she is not going to be negative, and she'll be more than happy for you if you reap the benefits that you're looking for. That could be it. Okay, Spirit is. Okay, so if you're not going to be supportive of it, don't expect any of the benefits when it comes. Oh, that's how he's going to be thinking. Oh, well, whatever. You're fine, feminine. If that's how he wants to get down, that's good. That's fine. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Remember that. Because the divine feminine is more than capable of manifesting her own abundance 10 times of what you and your little rat friends may be looking for or looking at. And her stuff ain't going to end her up in prison. So, okay, maybe that's an agreement you all can come to. And since she don't want to invest, or since she doesn't have any, she doesn't want nothing to do with these people, she don't get a cut. Fine. Number 8, the healer. It's from the Conscious Spirit Oracle deck, and that's by Kim Dwyer. Number 8, the healer. I am loving and compassionate and able to bring healing to others. Okay. This is about infinity, right? So this is some compassion that needs to be shown. Healing. So again, praying for your partner, asking for them to be shown the light, that this is about love in the natural and not love of the material. Communicating about love and knowing that you have the ability to heal the situation. Both of you do. Both of you do have the ability to heal this situation. This is not a competition. This is unity. Get out of that poverty mindset. This is unity. This is communion. And this is endurance. Nobody needs obstructions. But what does the Bible say? I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, right? Jesus, you can do this, male, masculine, Gemini. You can do this just like you both can do this. You can do this. Working together, communication, being compassionate, knowing that you have the power to heal these situations, both of you and together. Nothing stopping you from praying about this together. This may be part of the lesson also, is to depend on each other spiritually. Present the situation to your partner. This is what's happening. This is what they want me to invest in. I think this is a good deal. And she may say, hmm. But be open. Don't be sneaky. Let her know what's going on. Let her have the opportunity to decide whether she wants to be part of it or not. Don't change the rules at the last minute. Be able to negotiate the rules, right? Negotiation, compromise, and listening to the old crones. Listening to all of the wisdom of life. Being grateful for the wisdom that you are being given, that you're experiencing. This lesson. And knowing that you're going to want to be respected too, because one of these days you're going to be an old crone too, masculine. Flames of wisdom. Open to all of life's wisdom and share it with gratitude. So, again, I talked about sharing this information, this message, these lessons with these people who you know your partner doesn't care for, that may help talking to them, explaining to them about this journey, this gratitude. This is maybe how you get to do your part of teaching and sharing about this journey. Maybe you don't want to get on Facebook, or you don't want to do YouTube blog, or blog or whatever. Maybe that's not what you do, but maybe for the masculine, this is how you share it. And you explain to your boys through the different steps of this journey and why you respect the way your partner feels, because you know where she's coming from, because you actually are striving to get to that same place. And maybe that's the investment that you make that will end up with the real abundance. By sharing this journey with your friends, with those people who look to you. Maybe this is the opportunity, by you engaging with them and they watch how the two of you negotiate and operate while they're standing back and watching and gossiping among themselves because they're rats. Maybe that's the lesson. Maybe that's the community. Seeing the manifestation of your relationship and how it works. The intricacies of how this twin flame journey is working. Okay. Imagine Jay-Z explaining to his friends in Brooklyn, maybe not right this moment, but back in the day, how this girl got him looking all crazy, going to Cuba, making Orisha. But look at the abundance that he has achieved following her lead. And he still put obstructions in the way and all of that. But at the end of the day, she endured. She told him she was going to upgrade him. It just, took a while, back and forth. Shit happens, but she endured. So there are rewards for enduring. Not everybody wants to pass judgment on you if you decide to stay in a relationship that's not so easy. Some people who live in the real world understand that energy very well. And some people who understand love understand that too. But poverty mindedness makes people do things that maybe others of us can't understand or agree with. So that's a whole nother video. But I will say this. No, I'm not, because it'll just get me in trouble. And I'll start losing more subscribers because apparently people don't like it when I get a little political. Oh well. But I don't feel like it today. But it is, again, we need to start having more empathy and trying to look at situations, not just about how I would have handled it, but you don't have to agree with anything that the person did, but you can try to have compassion for, especially other women, having compassion for the choices that women make. You don't have to agree with it, but just try to have some compassion. Compassion at the same time tending to your own business. and stop judging. That's another part of this journey. Stop judging. So, Gemini, I think that's as far as we're going to go with this message. I'm going to go to Vimeo and do the sexual tarot part of the message, and I'll be uploading that. Um, this morning, I already uploaded the sexual tarot part of the Virgo reading, so that's there if you'd like to rent it or download it. Okay, so thank you all so very much. You can look under E for Midwives, or you can put Ea Patsy in the search bar, and you should be able to come up with the videos. And I'm going to put the link as soon as I am able to. Okay, so hopefully I'll come back later because it's still early, sort of, kind of. You see how long these things take? And I'm not intending for it to be that way. So thank you, Sheik and Carolyn and Katrilla and Ann and Mel for watching. And did I miss anybody? I don't know. Scroll up on this thing. I said Sheik and I said Carolyn. Okay, so thanks everybody for joining me today. And perhaps I'll be coming back a little later after I get some lunch and dinner in. And be talking to you soon. All right, so do your work, masculine. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Ashe, namaste.